Hello, everybody. Welcome to yet another episode of Harsh. I am your host, Chris Maya Jr. Today's guest is Sam. Sam, how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good.
All right, that's good. So I first actually came across you when some fellow sufferers ended up sending me some of their interviews on a YouTube channel called B.O.S or Body Odor Sufferers. And your story was definitely heartbreaking because I was just scrolling through watching videos, and I was like, man, when I saw yours, that one, especially on an emotional level, it definitely got at me. Uh, so to get it all started, would you like to talk about some of your trials and tribulations while going through this, or would you just like to talk start kind of small, like your first reaction story, or
Yeah, start kind of small.
okay, all right. What was your first ever reaction story, and what age did that happen at?
Um, I was 19 and started around when I was in college, like my sophomore year of college.
Hmm.
It was people in my class complaining about the smell and stuff like that. Um, yeah, I was already kind of paranoid because I knew, like, in my neighborhood, it was like, I don't know, it was like a stench in our neighborhood where I lived. So I thought maybe it might have rubbed off on me. I don't know.
Hmm.
But I didn't think that it would be me, like something that you couldn't like wash away, you know?
Hmm.
Um, Sorry, and I kind of have like brain fog and stuff like that. And I have ADHD, so I'll be losing track kind of. So can you like keep me on track kind of?
Yeah, yeah. So we were talking about your first initial reaction story, and you were talking about how people were making comments in class, and
Yeah.
you lived in an area where it just kind of smelled anyway.
Yeah. Um, So that was the first time, like the first time I heard anything, like that. Um,
Mm,
I don't know what else to say next.
okay. Well, I'll guide us a little bit. So, so one thing I like to ask every guest that I've ever had on this show is, if you could, if you, and you don't have to have one, but if you have a, I guess you could call it like a blessing in disguise while dealing with this condition, what would it be? And what has been your harshest lesson you have learned while dealing with this condition?
Um, Basically, when I moved out here where I am now, I met like a lot of good people that has helped me and stuff because like I thought that I would be on my own dealing with this because it makes you like homeless because no one wants to be around someone that smells bad and is like really powerful. So um, I met some people that says that they can't, and they have like been like huge blessings and like learning experiences in my life. But also, I met some people that I feel like that I never should have told about it because they kind of like using it against me in a way. Um, like they act like they have good intentions, but really bad intentions that I noticed. So I just can't like go around telling everyone this, even though like want to raise awareness and stuff like that. You just can't tell everyone just for your safety and stuff. Um,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, I agree. Um, so would you like to touch on it a little bit further about how this condition has affected your relationship with others? This could be like family, this could be workplace environment, this could be day-to-day life, just being around people in general.
Um, it's like good and bad because like the people that I met here, they seem like they like people that are cool with me or whatever, like friends. They say they can't or whatever, but like strangers and like other coworkers at work and even family has said that they can smell me and they like kind of harsh about it. And it's just like I'm not a mean person or have a chip on my shoulder or whatever, but like I tend to like I don't know have like a aura just to protect myself from not going back like to a really sad and depressed state because of what someone said or did, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, like details about like what have coworkers or family did or
Yeah, you can go into that if you'd like.
yeah, like coworkers giving me bars of soap or bring up topics like every time they talk to me like anyone else they're talking to they're talking about different topics, but with me it's always hygiene, like hidden for that as if I don't have good hygiene. um and family members did that also, but except for my mom, she's pretty much blunt with it. She told me that I stink.
Hey,
So,
but so many people they don't even get that. So I mean, I guess at least she's honest with you. So if you ever find a good doctor, I guess she vouch for you, right?
yeah. Also, that my therapist said that she could smell me also, and I had her document that.
Right.
Yeah, I
I
met her.
mean,
Sure. Say again.
oh, I was gonna say, well, that's pretty good though, right? Because
Yeah.
it seems like with most sufferers that I talk to, it's like early on, you just get hit with denial, 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 slam door after slam door, and then I could definitely relate. I didn't really have a doctor that was willing to listen to me, so I got to U of L. And then even when it comes to therapists, the one I have now is a lot better than the ones I've had previously. And they were actually willing to hear me out rather than trying to say that it was a psychosis thing or what have you. Because if it was really a psychosis thing, how could I remember these things so well, especially after so many years? So,
Yeah, and then it will be like everywhere you go. Like I don't feel like that's a delusion or anything. If it's happening everywhere, you know.
yeah, I can relate.
Cause I'm in a different city that's a few miles from my hometown, and it's the same thing that's happening. The same comments and reactions, etc. You know, and I don't know anyone from here, so
Yeah. Yeah, it happened to me when I ended up going to Texas for a little bit. Same stuff happened there, like at a workplace, day to day life. And then I ended up coming back to where I was from, still the same stuff. So, yeah, with this condition, it's going to follow you no matter where you go.
yeah,
Because as long as, especially with a lot of sufferers, I feel like it's really not a psychosis thing. I really feel like that there is something medically going on. It's just it's being missed somehow. So,
yeah, because that's the reason why I had got the therapist is because I was in the hospital for suicide. And then before they discharge you, you have to be on meds and you have to have a psychiatrist or a therapist before they discharge you. So I was assigned to her. And then I didn't talk to her about it until like a few years after I brung it up to her because I wasn't comfortable at first. But then I eventually ended up telling her, and then I met her in person last year and she said that she could smell me, and she said actually that she had another client um that she remembers that she thought had that or something like that. Because she said she heard about it before.
Yeah.
Second,
I mean, oh, I just said yeah, like I was agreeing with you.
yeah.
So would you like to get in a little bit further in terms of like your personal story, like how greatly this has affected you in terms of like your day-to-day life? Like
Uh, Positively, it like helped me stay organized and to be um, a clean person. Cause like I know how some people live. Like some people houses I even been to, like living here, it'll be like, how do they not smell bad or their house don't smell bad and they living like that, you know? But my house could be so clean, but yet the smell, like, you know.
yeah,
But I'm glad that this condition kind of helped me with that, far as cleanliness. But negatively, it's just really hard.
yeah,
So
yeah, I understand. Um, so I remembered on the B.O.S interview that this had affected you in terms of like at one point you even got like kicked out of a shelter.
yeah,
Would you like to talk about that story a little bit?
yeah. Um, I wasn't even there. I don't think a week. It probably wasn't even 2 days, cause I had just did an intake, and then the lady had took me to the back to take a shower, and then I took one, and then I went to the other area of the shelter where the other people were, and then it was these girls. As soon as I walked past it, she stank, and then I think after a day or two, like the rest of them start complaining and saying, "Oh my gosh, she stank." She I forgot the word. Sometimes I don't know how to word stuff, but like what is that word? Like she's overpowering the whole shelter. And I
Like,
remember complaining to the staff members about it. Um and it was some smelly people in there that I smelled because homeless people. But for this, I feel like it's stronger than regular body odor for
oh,
some,
it definitely is for sure.
because there's no way that you smelling me from down the hall. So, and then they were like, it's too many complaints, and the staff talking about she was allergic and throwing up. So I had to leave, talking about try a different place. But then they were telling me that they don't have openings. But I know it's because they didn't want me to come there because of that. Because in Detroit and SO, you they really accept anyone. Like you could just come in there and get warm.
Mm.
So there's no way that they didn't have any space.
So where'd you end up going after that?
Um, Nowhere really. I was working, so either I was at work or at the bus stop. Sometimes, because I was trying to save to get my own place, sometimes I would get a motel. Like I would stay in that area where all the hotels and motels and the bus station and stuff at. I would stay in that area so that I can make sure I'm getting to work. And if I needed to get a room, that I could. I mainly only got them when um basically during my time of the month because I'm a female. So around that time, I wanted to be clean. I didn't want to be homeless and just be sitting there, in my own blood and stuff without taking showers for days. So I would get a room around that time, majority of the time,
Yeah,
so that I can make sure I'm clean around that time. Because any other time, you can like go. They didn't really have any gyms over there, but you can like go to like a gas station or something and clean up. But when you're on your period, it's kind of harder for that. Like you just need a real shower.
Yeah.
So
That it would suck, being a female with this condition because, you know, I grew up around women most of my life, so I know that, when that stuff's going on, it can be rough, right?
yeah,
But then dealing with that on top of it, I mean, it's one of those things I can really only imagine. Uh, it probably sucks tenfold at that point because it's it's two things that's way beyond your control, right? So
yeah,
yeah, but speaking of that stuff, I will ask this other sufferer see if she's okay with it. But I've had somebody else on the show, when it comes to that stuff, she had talked about making like these homemade coconut capsules to
hmm
use in that area. Uh, I'll ask her see if it's okay with it, and I'll see if I can give her your number, your email, or something because she's on the Facebook Meebo and stuff.
yeah. I was just gonna say something about that.
Yeah.
um, when like negatively, like I was saying about telling certain people, I told some people that I shouldn't have about the group. Like if they're not dealing with it, I feel like you can't tell everyone. And I feel like they'll post anonymously in the group and would be saying stuff because don't you know how someone talks? Like say your mom texts you or whatever, or someone else texts you from her number, and you would be like, "That's not how my mom talks. Someone must has her
Yeah.
phone and is texting this." So like it's the way certain posts that's in there. It sounds like some people from work and they post it anonymously. Like something will just happen and then like I'm on break at work and I'll be scrolling and then I'll see it posted like 29 minutes ago and it'll be something that just happened at work, you know? So I feel like they um would use that like I don't know.
I
Um,
understand.
and I know who it is. I was just talking about this to my godmom yesterday because when I was homeless, I actually stayed at one of those ladies' houses, one of my coworker houses, which was a bad decision. But she kept
Mhm.
begging me to come there. I never asked her, can I live there? But she kept begging me. I don't even know how she found out that I was homeless. So that's a different story. But yeah,
Yeah.
sorry.
No, no, you're okay. You're okay. Um,
Yeah.
but
But I don't know. I just felt like I could trust her because at work, because we work around seniors, like assisted living, and
mhm.
she um saying that she healed a few residents and stuff like that, talking about God uses her to heal people and she can heal me from the condition and stuff like that. And she invited me before I was homeless to her place a few times so she could pray over me and stuff and try to um, deliver me from this or whatever, you know?
You know what is crazy? Not just you, not just me, but a handful of other sufferers I've talked to that either run into Jehovah's Witness or people that's just kind of like over the top holy rollers, and they try to say stuff like, "Oh, you're demon possessed," or "Oh, you have a higher calling, so this stuff is holding you back." And it's like, man, you don't know me. How are you gonna act like you know my life story?
Yeah.
And I mean, it's just a condition, but yeah,
Yeah, a lady at work, another lady at work was saying that, talking about you don't have this. I mean, there's nothing else like the doctors are saying that I'm healthy otherwise.
yeah.
So, but I found out I have endometriosis. But other than that, um, all the tests and stuff, and it gets worse around that time. So it has to be that.
Have you ever uh like so one of the things that I did before I was able to get to U of L and have some of those surgeries and what have you, um, one of the things that was my saving grace was I ended up taking something that's called a bacteria skin test.
Yeah.
And when I would do the laser hair removal treatments, and that hurts like heck, by the way, I would tell anybody don't get them. Crazy expensive, and it hurts. It hurts bad. And you so before you have those treatments, you have to shave and like not just trim those areas. Like you actually have to shave. And I limited the smell predominantly from uh some explicit areas basically, and I ended up telling my PCP, my primary care physician, that when we were trying to run down the list of things to do before she'd give me a recommendation someplace, and I ended up taking a bacteria skin test, and it came back positive because anytime I would try to use topical solutions or the Lumi soaps, whoops, my bad, sorry, I had a timer. Uh, the Lumi soaps. One time I even got desperate and tried like putting peroxide in that area. Every single time it would burn as if it were going to work, but it wouldn't work. So,
Yeah.
uh, yeah, definitely try getting a bacteria skin test if you can through your primary care physician.
Yeah, because I was gonna go back and see about that poop smell. Like before, like just before I have to poop, I don't know, other people can smell it before I have to go to the bathroom, to release it. It's like it's sitting there before it comes out. They know that I'm about to have one before I know that like I don't know how to describe it.
No, it's kind of funny talking about it as adults, right? But it's
Yeah.
one of those things where that's what I struggled with. I struggled with what some people on the Reddit forum they called it FBO, like fecal body odor. Um, that's why the surgeries I had, uh, my odor was the worst from like on the male anatomy, like the perineum and basically the butt crack area. Essentially, it's kind of embarrassing to say it like that, but it is what it is, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, but I'll send you a picture after this. It's basically so that's why I want to go further in my TMAU testing because I have been clinically diagnosed with bromhidrosis because like I had told you when we briefly spoke on the phone a couple days ago, when I had that second test, they ended up discovering that my epcrine glands were massive,
Yeah.
and the reason why that could happen is because they get infected, and that's basically what bromhidrosis is.
Get infected by what though? Is there did they know like environment or
Basically, the way bromhidrosis works is, uh, and I'm assuming it's the same with TMAU, um, that a first bloodline relative has to have an autoimmune disease. So that could be things like rheumatoid arthritis, lupus, um, basically anything that's an autoimmune disease, anything that could lower your immune system. And I do have some of that in my first bloodline relatives, and so that's literally all it takes to get something like bromhidrosis.
because
And
I don't
I'm sure
know.
with TMAU, it's probably the same.
Yeah, I don't know if she has TMAU or Brom. What is that called? Bromhidrosis.
Br- Brom
Bromhidrosis.
hydrosis.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know if my cousin Keisha has that. She's my grandma oldest daughter. So her and my mom
Mhm.
are like in the same age category. They're like late 40s. Um, she when I was younger, like a kid, people would be talking about she stank. Like I never thought anything of it. Like when I was a kid, people didn't want her around the family because she stank. And my mom was telling me this story. They had a party or whatever, and she was dancing, and then the one dude that was there was dancing around with the air freshener, making fun of her. And that was
Wow.
back when I was a kid. She was like probably, yeah, in her 20s. Cause I'm in my 20s now, so yeah. When I was a kid, she was like in her 20s or something, early 20s. And they said that, and then I remember she said she had to get some surgery to close it, or Botox or something, to stop her
Yeah.
excessive sweating or something like that.
Oh, so she could have, she might have a different condition. It's called hyperhidrosis. It's where you can never stop sweating, and that can make you smell really bad.
Yeah,
Because I've heard Botox injections for both bromhidrosis and hyperhidrosis, but it's expensive. It's really expensive, and you have to get treatments a lot.
yeah. Because I remember
So,
her saying something about it, but I was a kid, so but I just know listening in that what she was going through and what she had done or whatever.
oh wow, so yours could have been passed down genetically.
Yeah, but my mom doesn't
Wow.
experience that, or my dad. So I don't know. Maybe it missed them, or my siblings don't either. But they have different dads than me. You know, a different dad.
Mm,
So I don't.
right. Well, at some point, uh, have you ever thought about trying to look into getting like the genetic based TMAU testing? I'm sure it's a lot more expensive,
Yeah,
but
that's why I wanted to go to the doctor. For they said that we have to renew our, because I'm 26 now, so I have to use insurance from my work. So, and they said we have to renew it now because it's almost November. So I'll probably go to the doctor in November and ask them about that. We'll ask them, can they order the test? And I'll probably have to go somewhere else like I did last time to have it done. But first, these doctors have to be listening to you.
yeah,
Like before I took that urine test for the TMAU, it literally took me years and several doctors before someone finally said, okay, actually listen, for me to take it. Because it
right.
started around all the symptoms and reactions and comments and stuff when I was 19. I didn't take the test till I was like 24. So it took a few years before I actually took it.
So you've been dealing with this for a little over 6 years.
Yeah.
Same, same. Oddly enough, yeah. It's
How old are
mine.
you? Sorry.
Me, I'm about to turn 24 in like not even a month.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Because mine's what?
no, I was saying, oh, wow, you're my sister age. I thought maybe you were like in your 30s. I don't know. Probably
No,
seem like more mature?
no. I try to be. Well, this condition made me kind of grow up in
Yeah.
some ways. So yeah. Oh heck, yeah. Because mine started last couple months of 17, going on 18. I'm about to be 24 in the middle of November. So yeah, about 6 years and a month or something like that, or a couple months.
Yeah. Do your parents know?
Yeah, yeah, they know. Um, but when it comes to like the medical side of things, uh, my dad tried like when I was in Texas for a little bit, because he smelled me one time when I lived there, so he ended up telling a dermatologist that, and that's how I ended up trying all these different topical solutions. And then, yeah, I've done a whole lot. I've done like crazy strict dieting for certain doctors. Um, I've tried like the bathing in bleach, uh,
Yes.
freaking.
told me to do that.
Don't do it. Yeah. Yeah, that's one of those things you gotta really play it smart because you can't like just like you know what I mean. You can't just like guzzle in like a bunch of bleach. I mean that would hurt you. Uh, but yeah, just like a tad bit of bleach. I think it's like a fourth a cup or half a cup to like a large thing of water in the tub. But that doesn't work. Talc powders, topical solutions, Lumi products, which that is rigged. Don't waste your money on Lumi products.
No, I actually did use that in the past before I moved from Detroit. I tried that, like
You did?
tried the cream and deodorant for my armpits.
Yeah,
Cause I don't know, I'd be sweating under there for whatever reason, even if I'm not. Well, now it's kind of got under control, but like before, I could just be sitting there and be sweating under my armpits for I don't know. That'll be the only area, you know.
yeah.
I don't know why.
Well, if you ever use the bar of soap, interesting thing that I noted was anytime I used the Lumi bar of soap, especially in that area that I had the surgeries in,
Hmm.
it would always end up burning the heck out of my armpits and that area. And every single time I used it on the area that I had the surgery in, it always smelled like fish. Every single time.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it burned like heck. And that's why I wonder if bromhidrosis isn't a symptom of TMAU. And if it doesn't infect or it doesn't, like similar to an autoimmune disease, if it doesn't attack the epcrine glands and then they get infected, because basically what a textbook version of bromhidrosis is that uh, the epcrine glands are infected and it releases this protein that mixes with your sweat, and then that's what creates the malodorous symptoms.
Sorry, just put in my phone charger.
No, no, you're good.
It's probably gonna go on the car now, which is gonna be embarrassing.
No, it's okay. It's cool. So yeah. No, no, you're perfectly fine. It's happened before with other people too. So yeah, that's basically what a textbook version of bromhidrosis is. But but yeah, definitely try getting that bacteria skin test.
Yeah, is that what it's called? Like when I go to ask them?
Yeah, yeah, it's just called a bacteria skin test.
Okay. And I'm gonna ask about SIBO also, but I don't think I have that because I don't know. Like I don't know what's going on. You
Yeah,
know? Yeah.
yeah, yeah, I understand. But so if there's any medical professionals out there listening, what would you end up telling them?
Um, I'm not sure. Like, is this because I know I'm not that old, but like, has this been like around for many years? And I don't know.
What, like TMAU?
Yeah, is it not important enough to look into? You know, because I know certain stuff is tested while you're a baby. You know,
Yeah.
um, and why don't they test for that when you're a baby, like automatically, like the other things?
Oddly enough, I think because most of us, not all of us, but most of us that are experiencing this, we didn't start to experience it till later in life rather than, you know what I mean,
Hmm.
having it your whole life. A lady that I interviewed right before you, Joanne, she's had it. ever since she was a young kid, and she lives in the UK. She was one of the first 7 in the world to get clinically diagnosed with the condition, but I have a gut feeling that this condition's been around a heck of a lot longer. It's just maybe people didn't know how to treat it, or sadly enough, I wouldn't be shocked if people have taken their own life because of this,
Yeah,
because um, it's a
it's hard.
that's putting it light, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when I saw your interview on B.O.S, I got really worried. I was like, "Man, I hope nothing happened to this person, because I really wanna try and get her on the show." I felt bad.
Yeah. Because everyone is like you're like a plague and no one wants to be around you, not even your family, and you're just isolated alone. And you can't do everything on your own. You need other people in this life, and having this just makes it harder for that. So it just make you feel like worthless. Like, why are you even here wasting your time? You know?
Yeah,
So, yeah.
yeah. Well, uh, as far as the episode, I've asked you almost everything I've wanted to ask you. Um, is there any other stories you'd like to quickly share, or anything that you can think of?
Um,
Because I remember you had said, you had tried the urine test at one point and it came back negative.
yeah.
Mine did as well. I had taken one pretty recent, so
But I don't think it's accurate. They said that you're supposed to eat foods over a 24-hour period and they're supposed to test your urine like different samples. They only took mine once. And I didn't go on a diet when I took the test. But you're supposed to, over 24 hours, they're supposed to collect different samples of urine, not just that one sample. They only took one sample of mine from that one day because I went into the lab court and they took it and then I basically just left and they put it on a little cart. My urine, I don't know when they actually put it on dry ice because I wasn't there. Like I left at that point after giving my sample. So I just feel like it's not taken seriously. The you know,
yeah, yeah, I understand.
it's like milk, like dairy. You have to put that in the fridge or it's gonna spoil you, especially if it's hot outside. You got 2 hours.
Yeah,
You know, it's like that. I feel like,
so you feel like they definitely mishandled your testing kit.
yeah, because I don't know, like, cause I mainly just drink water. Sometimes when I urinate, you can smell it in my urine. Like I don't know how to describe it.
No, oddly enough, I'm actually kind of glad you brought this up. Part of the reason why I wanted to further my testing is because when I eat certain food items, I smell it in my urine. So,
Yeah,
like, let's say I eat something that had onion in it, I smell onion when I go to pee. I'm like, that's pretty freaking weird.
yeah.
Or, let's say I don't go out to eat often, but let's say I get Chipotle one day and I want some of that green sauce, right?
Mm.
Then when I go to pee, it smells bitter like something that was made with that green sauce. Uh, have too much garlic, it's gonna smell like garlic. Eat asparagus, smells like asparagus. It's really weird. I can't explain it.
Last week I had got McDonald's fries, and then when I got home, like in your urinate, like my bathroom just smelled like McDonald's fries. Like literally, I'm like,
Yeah,
well, like, cause I'm like, wait a minute, I didn't order any fast food this week, or I mean, not this week, but like after a couple days, I'm like, I didn't order any fast food, so why is it smelling like fries, like from a restaurant? But it was only in my bathroom. That's how I know that it was coming like out my urine or whatever. You know?
yeah, yeah. I think some of us are definitely like there's certain sufferers where their symptoms I can't really relate to it, but I hear yours. I've obviously carried the woman that I co-host this show with. Uh, she's she's normally on here, but she's not for this week. But some of our symptoms align. Uh, yeah, I definitely think you probably do have maybe TMAU or Bromhidrosis and TMAU because a lot of your symptoms sound very similar to mine,
Yeah,
especially before I got any medical help. So
yeah, I'm gonna ask them about that. Is that connected with the bacteria test? The brom
Bromhidrosis, yeah.
bromhydro. Yeah, is that connected or those are two?
Uh, so the bacteria skin test, that's what led to the Bromhidrosis diagnosis for me because Uh, I still had this screenshot on my phone of all the things that I had tried beforehand, like the talc powders, different like wicking underwear, like anything that you could do like hygienically, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And none of it was working. So then after I took that test where I was on a really strict diet where I could have nothing but salt, I couldn't eat peppers or anything. I had to have a very bland diet. I could only eat like plain chicken, plain salad with, like, no dressing. I had to put freaking lime juice in it. It was yeah, it was a terrible diet. I lost a lot of weight too, and, so yeah.
Sorry,
No,
it's
you're good.
people walking.
No, you're good. You're
I
good.
Can you hear through cars?
Sometimes you can, but you'd also have to be kinda nosy.
Yeah,
Yeah, as long as no one was doing anything, like, super alarming or suspicious, I would just walk past the car.
yeah,
But yeah, yeah, if you get the bacterial skin test, it's connected to the bromhidrosis and stuff. And uh, another thing I'd like to tell you, try to go, try to get a referral to a hospital, whether it be a colon rectal surgeon or a dermatologist that's connected to a hospital that's associated with a college because they're a lot more inclined to take on your case medically because they deal with rare cases every year anyway. So they'd be a lot more inclined to hear you out and to, you know what I mean,
hmm.
go on that journey with you. So,
Sorry, I was just writing this down so I won't forget.
well, no, you're fine.
Because I'm actually gonna go there next month.
Oh yeah,
Sorry.
no, you're good.
I have ADHD and I be looking all around because I don't know. Me being in the city by myself might try to kidnap me.
Well, let's hope not, man.
Now they probably drop me back off because of the smell.
Hopefully, right? I mean, that'd be a blessing in disguise, right? It's like, all right, just drop her off, man. We can't do this.
Yeah,
But but yeah, man, I understand. Paranoia could definitely develop like the longer you have this condition because you're just so used to harsh reactions, and some people go like a really above and beyond to let you know it too. So I understand. Heck, man, I've had garbage thrown on my car and stuff before, so I
yeah.
get it.
And at work, actually, when we were leaving today, I'm not on my period, but someone had a tampon on the ground and it was three girls from work walking behind me and someone, ew, someone left their tampon. I don't even wear tampons. I'm dead. No, it was just like,
I get it, man.
yeah.
So yeah, try to get the bacteria skin test, and for future reference, would you ever like to come on the show again? Uh,
Oh,
maybe
yeah.
next time when Carrie's on.
Yeah. Would you have me? Cause I do be kind of nervous, like social anxiety. Well, not social anxiety because it's not in person, but still, like I
Dude,
have a problem like wording my sentences. I say like, and then my brain be like kind of scattered, so it be kind of hard to like for me to talk basically. But I'm not remedial or anything. But it's just I don't know how to describe it.
you probably are really anxious and you try to hold it in, so then it makes you stutter and
Yeah.
stuff, even though you normally
Can
wouldn't
you
stutter.
can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, sorry. This phone is gonna die.
No, it's okay. I'll wrap it up.
Cause it,
Guys,
cause I didn't want to connect it back to the car and then it turns off the Wi-Fi.
okay. Well, guys, this was Sam. This is episode 10 of Harsh. Uh, talk to you guys later. See you next time. Goodbye.